That's right. It's time. Episode 127. We are here. We are now, as always, over in Apple Podcasts. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I started like that. Over today in Apple Podcast. Let's see here. Today, it's the 27th. Is it me or did September fly by? Time flies when you're having fun. Episode 118 went live. How to avoid looking quote unquote try hard in your online business. One of those symptoms and kind of one of those offside related to imposter syndrome things. Go and check it out. Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can get that at pod.link/clients. Today we're talking about vanity metrics. Let's hop in and let's do this together. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in today. In today's episode, I want to talk about focusing on vanity metrics and what to do if you have found yourself either focusing on vanity metrics and you're realizing it, or realizing that you're focusing on them again. Let's start up at the top and let's bring this together. And the reason why I didn't bring you what we talked about in today's episode, because the first thing that I want to talk about is related to yesterday's episode. So in episode 126, we talked about the macro of your online business, the high level overview of your online business. And so if this episode, this topic, and what we unpack here today is hitting home for you, be sure to backtrack one episode and really digest and really understand the concepts of the macro in your online business, the high level overview in episode 126. Because the first thing that you have to do if you're finding yourself focusing in on vanity metrics is you have to remember the big picture. You have to get yourself out of the weeds of the day-to-day and the minutia that you could track and that you could focus on, so that you don't leave the most important things for the small things, so you don't step over dollars for dimes. And this is the big picture of your online business, and remembering it in the concept of stepping over dollars for dimes is so much more important than just the vanity metrics. As a little side tangent, there are so many things that can do and will go wrong in your online business and in your life. And it's very easy to focus on all of those things that are perceptively not going your way in the moment, which we all know from these 127 last episodes that you know not in the moment if something is good or bad, because some of the worst things that happen to you wind up being the best, and some of the best things happen to you wind up being the worst. It's all about how you look at it. In the movie, in the book Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill has an interview with the devil, and the devil tells him it's the way you look at things. When something bad happens, there's this seed of equal of something good. But it's all about how you look at it. And most human beings, not you because you're wise, most human beings, the others that don't listen to this show, they will look at something bad and embrace it as all bad. But that is half wise. You must decide how you're going to look at things at the beginning of your day, regardless of what happens in your day. This is how you begin to control the quote unquote multiverse. This is how you begin to control and be in the driver's seats of everything that you're wanting to manifest and everything that is great in your life. It's all about how you look at things, and things are going to happen to throw you from negative to positive. And when something good happens, you have to remember that there can be the seed of something bad, and that nothing is all good, and you want to try to remain neutral to it and find a way to stop yourself from swaying from the good and the bad. And when something bad happens and it's thrown you on the other side of the pendulum and on the other side of your rocker, what you have to remember is the seed of something good, and that should also bring you back to the middle. Nothing is all good, nothing is all bad. It's somewhere in between. And it's in that in-betweenness that you ascend upwards, that the swing from the pendulum stops being so drastic. There's a model that goes along with this that we can't illustrate or unpack here today, and if you ever have me in person, I'd love to draw it out for you. But thing number one is you have to remember the big picture. When you get away from the big picture is when you will become far more likely to focus in on vanity metrics and looking at your follower counts and your likes and your subscribers to your YouTube channel and how many people have been interacting with your social. And not that those things are not important, is that they will not do the second thing I want to talk about here today, which is they will not pay your bills. There are a 1% of creators out there that, yes, you can make enough income from YouTube and from TikTok and from brand deals and those sorts of things, but that's a totally different kind of business. And yes, you should be creating content, but you should be creating content to change just one person's life as you're just getting started. Because if you make good content with that baked in, and it does change someone's life and that person reaches out to you, you now have the thing that actually pays the bills, or an at bat to land it, which is clients. Followers and likes do not pay the bills, clients do. And there is a outsider, there is a one percenter, a top percenter, and there is a way to make money off of just creating content on social media. But that is not what we do here as online business owners. We create service and value to the world and don't leave our success at the whim of a social media platform. We build amazing content that has the chance to change just one person's life, and we do it on a daily basis. And we show up on our story when we're just getting started for at least a minute every single day. And then as we grow in business and as we start to add the right next things, we do start to create other content. But all of that content is focused in on the pains and problems of the individual prospects in your market. And if you're talking to everyone, you talk to no one. When you look through a kaleidoscope, which is how most people look at their niche, you see so much in the kaleidoscope that you can't see any one specific thing. You see colors and lights and shapes and glitter and bedazzled, all these sorts of things. Whereas when you look through a telescope, you have the power of zooming into the infinity of the universe and focusing in on just one star. And that's the drastic difference that we're talking about here on today's show, is that you can look through your business as a kaleidoscope and you see so much and you target so much that you don't see or target anything, or you can look through your business through a telescope. I learned this from Joe Polish back in the early days of me getting started in online business, before I was who I am today. Before I was even a glimmer of who I am today, I had a whole totally different business and I was a whole totally different person. But that singular concept has stuck with me. Look through your business through a telescope and focus in on one individual person and make your content for one kind of person. And in time, that will turn one to many. That will turn into so many people getting across and having that same realizations that one person you made the content for had. And your content will start to reach more people, and you will generate more conversations, and you will generate more leads and calls booked, and therefore paying clients by going down this route than by focusing on the vanity metrics of your likes, of your followers, and those things. Those can be a litmus test, but that's also just a scoreboard. And the scoreboard is not what's happening on the court. The scoreboard is what's happened so far on the court. So you might find yourself down at halftime. But if you're looking at the scoreboard, that's not where the game is played. The game is played on the court. And the only way to control what's going on the scoreboard is to control what's going on in the court. This is a lot also related, side tangent, again, to your emotions and to being in the present moment. You can get really down on how things have gone so far in your business and in your life, but that's just how they've gone so far. And when you manage your emotions, aka focusing on what's going on the court, that is the only way to impact the future. What happens on the scoreboard is by not swinging from bad to good and judging everything on the pendulum that's happening to you or happening out in the world, because you're losing your energy and you can't see it, but you are losing your energy by focusing on the good and focusing on the bad and having your mind sway all day long and focusing on, did my sports team win or lose? And am I Democrat or Republican? Or am I white or am I black or some other color? Or all of these man-made concepts and constructs that keep you from realizing the truth that the current moment is all you have, that you have infinite potential baked inside of you. And all of these illusions are created to keep you distracted from those facts. Back to today's regular programming. Followers and likes don't pay the bills, clients do. And just in me saying that, and if I just had that little soundbite to give you, you can now on your own with just that go and sort through, okay, well, how do I get the clients then? If the followers and the likes and the friend requests and the comments don't pay the bills, then what does? Okay, well, clients do. Well, what do I need to do to get clients? Which takes us into thing number 3, metrics that matter. If we're going to begin with the end in mind, which is how we also manifest, we picture the end in mind. We create a target slide, a clip that we can play in our mind from the end in mind. We hold it in our mind and we build the emotions from our mind in our heart, and we carry that with us as if it's already happened. And we manifest from that end in mind. It's also no different in your pipeline and getting clients. So if we do this backwards and we think with the end in mind with these metrics that matter, the top metric that does matter in your online business, So instead of being like, I'm not saying don't track followers and don't track likes and don't track impressions and don't track those things. Track them, but don't judge your success in your business off of them, because there are many more things we talk about in episode 126, the last episode, that are way more important for you to actually judge your success on. And these are things that actually build a successful business and that don't leave your business at the hands and whim of these very fickle, ever-changing social platforms. The first metrics that matter, the top level metric that matters, is how many clients have you signed this week? How many clients have you signed this month, this quarter, this year? How many clients have you signed in total? If you manage to that and only focus on that, what gets measured gets managed, what gets managed grows. And if you're so solely focused on clients signed and you're beginning with that end in mind, you will inevitably find success and things that will get you to more clients signed. That's the first metric that matters. The second one, that's just a little less important than clients signed, that will get you to that number one of clients signed, is how many calls do you have booked? How many calls are on your calendar? How many strategy sessions do you have in the next 72 hours? Because you should not allow for people to book strategy sessions and sales calls with you longer than 72 hours out, right? Third, invites offered, invitations for them to come to your strategy session or to your initial call if you're following the leverage coach method of the 2-call close. It's how many invitations have you made for people to get on the initial call with you, and also from the initial calls, this can be broken up. How many of those did you invite to your strategy session? So whatever the metric is for you in your pipeline, manage to that. If you are not getting 3 to 5 clients organically, 1 call close is all you need. If you're not getting 3 to 5 every single month, let me be super clear. A 1 call close is all you need. It's your straightest path to getting clients. As you start getting to the point where you're starting to get a minimum of 1 client a week and you're having 3 to 5 calls booked every single week, now it's the time to create a filter, and that's where you have an initial call where you do a 15-minute call. That's more about you selfishly to discover if your prospect is a fit for you and if you can actually help them. That way you don't wind up on as many strategy calls with someone for 45 minutes only to realize at the end that they are not financially qualified. They don't even have the specific problem. They're not even ready for some help. But now they've taken that 45-minute slot on your calendar. When you're just getting started, when you have not yet are getting 3 to 5 clients every single month, a 1 call close is all you need. As you start to get 3 to 5 calls booked every week, not clients signed, calls booked, you want to install a filter. And the way you do that is by having a 10 to 15-minute chat to work out if they're fit for you. That's a selfish call. And the second call, that's about them and their goals and about where they want to be. And that's your not selfish call, where you put them first, where you're doing far less of the talking. I'm just trying to be clear here in what we're talking about here together. Number 1, client signed, 2 calls booked. Third is invites offered to your strategy sessions. And then fourth, so this is backwards. This is the beginning of your pipeline. But the fourth most important metric is how many conversations have you started? How many inbound comments do you have on your content that are using the word that you gave in your call to action? They're commenting group, they're commenting case study, or they're in your DM, or they're in your inbox, either replying to your content or reaching out for help, or they're responding to your emails in your calls to action and sending you that word or inquiring for help in some way. And when I say sending you that word, it's you writing in emails as if you would like some more details, send me the word details. If you want to be a part of my case study, you send me the words case study. And when you send an email, every time you have those calls to action, how many people are responding and how many conversations are you starting? Every business can look at this differently. I just want to give you the straightest path when it comes to your online information and education business, and you as an online coach, and you having the straightest path to landing high ticket clients and high paying clients, or people, and being in a marketplace where that can even be close to the case. So if we work backwards, it's how many convos have you started today? And then of those convos that you have open already, how many of them have you invited to a strategy session? How many invites have you sent out? Of those invites, how many of them have booked onto your calendar? And of those that have booked on your calendar, how many clients have you signed today? Most coaches, even if you're getting 3 to 5 clients a week, you're going to have days where you have not signed a client today, but you did send 3 to 5 invitations to get on your strategy session. Or you have 3 to 5 calls booked and you sent out 7 to 10 invites to hop on a call with you, and you started between 10 to 30 conversations. And as you tighten these numbers up and you tighten these metrics up and you begin focusing on the right things and you track what's going on vanity metric wise, but you don't judge that as your success and you focus the 98% of your energy on these 4 metrics that actually matter and that actually move the needle in your online business. What you will find is that you're magically getting more clients. You're getting clients consistently. You have leads flowing in. And when you wake up in the morning, you're not trying to figure out where your next client is coming from because you have warm leads in your inbox and warm leads in your DM and people watching your story and people who they got to a strategy session and paid, or they got to a strategy session and say, I need to think about it or pray to God or I need to talk to the spouse, and they have a legitimate reason. And you have people who have booked a call already and you have conversations that are inbound. And when your pipeline is full at each of these stages with even just 1, 2, or 3 people that have the problem that you can solve and that you're even somewhat excited to work with, this is the recipe for not only getting 3 to 5 clients a month, this is the recipe for getting 3 to 5 clients every single week. In the next episode of Client by Client, I want to talk about how to level up your network. How do you build that circle of trust around you where all ships rise in a high tide, where you're held accountable, where you're getting the feedback that you need to get better as a person, better as a human, better as a business owner, as an online coach, and how to just level up every area in your life through the people that are closest to you. Whenever you are ready, here are a few ways I can help you grow your online business. First, download your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, in your email inbox where you're losing leads in the cracks and leaving a lot of money on the table every single month? That's why I created GetBookedCRM. What started out as a free way for me to manage my leads and pipeline and turn prospects into clients has quickly become a favorite tool of my private students and many members in the Leverage Coach community. Get leads and turn them into clients in half the time. To download your free copy now, just find me on Instagram at WhatUpJeremy and send me the letters CRM. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got hundreds of coaches from all over the world, all implementing my methods and strategies for starting and growing an online business. Get access to free trainings and other coaches in dozens of different niches from all over the world. For your free invite now, just find me over on Instagram and send me the word group. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting a couple coaches together this month to implement my methods and frameworks for injecting a minimum of 15K worth of new clients or doubling your existing client roster base over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But working with the right people is super important to me. So only respond to this if you are a relationship-focused coach who always puts the person ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 6 months to a year. You'd like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media every month without wasting money and time on paid ads. You have at least 300 friends on a social platform, email list, or Facebook group. You are willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last, but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you want you to grab your phone right now, tap that Instagram app icon, search for me at WhatUpJeremy, give me a follow and binge on some content while you're there. And when you're ready, I want for you to message me the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions about your online business and your vision for the next 12 months. Then I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the program, how we're already helping students from all over the world to get results with my methods and strategies. And we'll also identify what part of the program will likely make the biggest impact on your business the soonest. That way you know what to expect. For all the details now, just find me on Instagram at WhatUpJeremy and send me the words case study. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you in the next one. Cheers. Hey, Seuss, what's up? Appreciate the emojis. Boom. Let's make that bigger. Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Always good to see you. Hope all is well. Drop me some emojis, whether you're watching here live or sometime in the future. Hello from the past. If this is your first time here, drop me a number 1. That will be my sign that you made it all the way through to the end, or that you're a first-time offender. For all my repeat offenders, drop me some emojis. And we're back tomorrow talking about your network. These are important topics that can be cliche to some, but are the keys to success for those that know that this is a long game and that going there alone is hard and that want to be in there for the long of it. All right, guys, that's it for me. Peace out. Thanks for being here.